Okay, so we are going to see here urinary system from anatomy physiology, and after that we will see diuretics from pharmacology. So we have already seen few chapters from anatomy physiology. After that, next one is a urinary system. I have told you different routes for elimination, different route for excretion. So there are different system which involves the function of excretion. Okay, so excretion function is carried out mainly by your urinary system. Then other organs, those are associated with the excretory system. For example, your intestine, then gallbladder, then liver is there, then your lungs are there, and skin is there. For example, volatile drugs like alcohol and other general volatile anesthetics or inhalation anesthetics, those are excreted by lungs. So there are certain metabolic waste as well as some drugs and their metabolite, those are also excreted via feces. So your rectum is also one of the route for elimination. Then again there are certain other organs like skin. So water soluble compounds we have seen in the general pharmacology, different organs or different system related with the excretion. So excretion means what? Removal of metabolic waste along with the drugs and all that. So removal of metabolic waste involves the process of excretion. Now this urinary system basically deals with the removal of metabolic waste product. For example, removal of your urea, okay, uric acid, ions, okay, removal of water soluble metabolites of drugs, okay, and all that. So removal of waste product which are water soluble through this kidney, that is nothing but the urinary system. Now this urinary system is again a system which is having different kind of organs, different kind of tissues, okay. So urinary system basically composed of these organs like kidneys. There are a pair of kidney. Pair of kidney means there are two kidneys. A pair of kidney. So you can see over here this is kidneys. Pair of kidneys. Okay. So urinary system consists of pair of kidneys. They are just like a bean-shaped organs. Okay. They are like a bean-shaped organs. A pair of kidney. Urinary system consists of a pair of kidney. Then a pair of ureters. Okay. Pair of ureters. Ureters means these are these are flexible tubes which connects kidney and urinary bladder. So they are known as a ureter. There are again a pair of ureter in the urinary system. So pair of kidney means two kidney again here. Then two ureters are there. Urinary bladder is there. Then next organ is nothing but the urinary bladder. So urinary bladder is one, and urethra is also one. Urethra means it is a terminal end, terminal end for the urinary system. So basically your urinary system consists of two kidneys, okay, then two ureters which are connected to a kidney and carries the urine to the urinary bladder. Then bladder is there. Bladder is nothing but a sac or dome shaped or pear shaped organ. It is a muscular organ, and it is nothing but it will act as a storage, temporary. It will act as temporary storehouse for urine. Okay, so two kidneys, two ureter, one urinary bladder and one urethra. So these are the organs of your urinary system. So urinary system consists of different organs, and it is mainly a excretory system, and most of the it is the most important excretory system. Most of the metabolic waste like carbon dioxide, metabolic waste like bicarbonate ion, then different metabolic waste like urea, uric acid, okay, uric acid, bicarbonate ions, then metabolic water. So everything acid, different kind of acids like lactic acid, carbonic acid, etc, etc. So all kind of metabolic waste, it is being excreted by urinary system. So it involves a pair of kidney, a pair of ureter, urinary bladder and urethra, two kidneys. And just above the kidneys anteriorly, there is a presence of adrenal glands. There is a presence of adrenal glands. They secretes, they produce adrenal hormones like noradrenaline, adrenaline, etc, etc. So they produce these hormones. There are two kidneys, two ureters, one urinary bladder and one urethra. Now these kidneys are supplied with the blood vessels. Kidneys are supplied with the pure blood or oxygenated blood with the this known as a, okay, it is known as a aorta. Okay, aorta. So the major artery, the most largest artery in the body, that is aorta. So aorta supplies blood to the kidney, and whatever blood that is being withdrawn, or whatever venous blood that is being taken out from these two kidneys, that is done by this renal vein, or you can say inferior vena cava. So this aorta will supply blood to the kidney, and inferior vena cava will drain blood from kidney. Now these two kidneys are supplied with the arteries known as the renal arteries, small arteries. Okay, so small arteries known as the renal arteries, and small veins which drains the blood from kidney, they are known as the renal veins. Now renal veins will drain their blood into this inferior vena cava, and renal arteries will supply blood from aorta to the kidneys. What is the function of kidney? So it is nothing but the formation of urine formation. There are different function of kidney. So they maintain the hemostasis. So they used to produce some hormones. Hormonal function is also there. So there are different kind of functions of kidney. So we'll see it in upcoming slide. So just remember, in case of urinary system, it is a major excretory system of your body, and it consists of a pair of kidney, two kidneys, then two ureters. Okay, two ureters, one urinary bladder and one urethra. So these are the organs of urinary system, and just above the kidneys there is a adrenal gland present superiorly, and these kidneys are supplied with the blood by aorta, and aorta will divide into smaller arteries known as a renal artery. So renal artery will supply oxygenated blood to kidneys and renal veins. Renal veins, they will drain the blood from kidney to this inferior vena cava. Now we'll see these organs one by one in the details. I'm not going to tell you each and every detail of system, but regarding whatever is important for you, GPAT, Niper, Drug Inspector and Pharmacist exam, that will be taken over. जितना GPAT के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है, अपने काम का जितना है उतना लेंगे, लेकिन ऐसा भी नहीं कि मतलब उस बहुत ही सुपरफिशियली लेंगे. So I will take both basic as well as whatever is important for your GPAT. Now you can see it is a anatomy of your kidney, structure of your kidney. So how kidney is made? Kidney, there are two kidneys, you know that, and these kidneys are covered, or these kidneys are wrapped in a one capsule. Okay, these kidneys are wrapped in a capsule. So outer covering on the kidney is known as a capsule. Okay, it is a fibroelastic outer layer in the kidney known as a, or kidney is wrapped, or kidney is enclosed in the capsule. Okay, then kidneys are, if you take a TS, if you take a transverse section of kidney, then you can observe three layers on kidney. So first layer is known as a cortex. First layer is known as a cortex. Whatever area I am going to highlight, so that is known as a cortex. Whatever this area is, so it is known as a cortex. So cortex is nothing but the outermost area of kidney. So what is cortex? Cortex is nothing but the outermost area of the kidney, or outermost layer of the kidney. Okay, cortex. You can see over here again, they have also did. Okay, so this area, okay, in between these two, this area is known as a cortex. Okay, so all over the kidney, so this area is known as cortex. And remember, in the cortex there are Bowman capsules, collecting tubule. C for cortex, C for capsule, C for collecting tubule. So in the cortex, what are the different structure present in the kidney? So you know that structural and functional unit of kidney is nothing but the nephron. We are going to see about the nephron, what are the different parts. But over here, रिमेंबर, यहाँ पे इतना याद रखो कि कॉर्टेक्स क्या होता है कि आउटर मोस्ट लेयर ऑफ द किडनी, और उसमें क्या क्या होता है, उसमें क्या क्या प्रेजेंट होता है, कौन से एनाटॉमिकल स्ट्रक्चर होते हैं, उसमें होता है आपका कॉर्पुसल और कैप्सूल, बाउमन्स कैप्सूल. ओके, ये एरिया में रहेगा बाउमन्स कैप्सूल, एंड ये कॉर्टेक्स में दूसरा एक रहेगा, उसको बोलते हैं कलेक्टिंग डक्ट. So the collecting duct and Bowman's capsule part of your nephron, which is present in the renal cortex. Cortex is nothing but the outermost layer of your kidney, and this cortex is also supplied with the these blood vessels. Okay, so you can see here cortical blood vessels. Cortical blood vessels. Okay, blood vessel will carry, arteries will carry a blood to a nephron, and renal veins will carry blood away from the nephron. Because this Bowman's capsule and collecting duct, it is present in the cortex, so there is a network of capillary blood vessels known as a cortical blood vessels. Now after this there is another layer. Okay, there is another layer known as a medulla. There is another layer known as a medulla. So this layer is known as a medulla. In the medulla, okay, this layer is known as a medulla. So outermost layer is known as a cortex, middle layer is known as a medulla, and in the medulla, so what are present in the medulla? The loop of Henle is present. So whatever loop of Henle part of your nephron is there, so it is present, and this loop of Henle will this loop of Henle, collection of loop of Henles will make a medulla, and in the medulla you will find a structures like a pyramid. You will find a structure like a pyramid. So it is known as a pyramid. So they are nothing but the dark structure of collection of loop of Henles. They are the dark structure of collection of loop of Henles. Now this loop of Henle, they are nothing but the they are the collection of collecting ducts and all that. So collecting ducts, whatever urine will be formed in the collecting duct, that will be drained into this part. So this part is the innermost part of your kidney, known as a renal sinus. Known as a renal sinus. So whatever this white part is, you are able to see. So that part is known as a renal sinus, and which is the innermost layer. So outer layer कौन सा है? Outer layer is nothing but the cortex. Okay, outer layer is nothing but the cortex. Outer layer is nothing but the cortex. ये इतना. Then middle layer is known as a medulla. Middle layer is known as medulla. So pyramids, whatever pyramids you are able to see, that pyramids are nothing but the middle layer, okay, medulla. And after that there is an inner layer, white area, whatever you white area is able to see, that is known as a inner area or inner layer, and that is known as a renal sinus. So outer layer cortex, middle layer medulla, and inner layer, that is known as a renal sinus. Okay, renal sinus. Now in the renal sinus you will find a major calyx and minor calyx. Major calyx and minor calyx. So a small muscular layer where there is a collection of urine from different nephrons. Okay, so small smooth muscles where there is a collection of urine in the collection of urine from the nephrons, that is known as a minor calyx. Okay, and such minor calyx will collect the urine formed in the from the nephrons, and they will collect and they will unite to form a major calyx. Okay, they will unite to form a major calyx. They will drain in the major. Now in this calyx, as there is a smooth muscle, यहाँ पे smooth muscle होती है. Okay, as like your intestine में कैसे होता है smooth muscle, and they used to undergo rhythmic contraction and relaxation. तो यहाँ पे भी जो calyx में smooth muscle होते हैं, they used to undergo rhythmic contraction and relaxation, known as a renal peristalsis, and they drain the blood, they drain the urine formed into the into this is known as a ureter, and okay, this is known as a ureter. Drain the blood, they drain the urine which is formed in the nephron and collected in the calyces. They will drain blood in, they will drain the urine into this ureter. Okay, so these are the parts of your different, there are the different parts of your kidney. And I'll also explained the anatomy of this kidney in a very short. Okay, so whatever is important for you. Now where the part where the renal vein is there, and renal, okay, renal vein, renal artery, okay, renal artery and nerves supply is there. So the area at which these three are there, so renal artery, renal vein, and renal nerves, okay, nervous supply and blood supply, where the part at which there is a nervous supply as well as blood supply and blood drainage, that part is known as a renal hilum. That part is known as a renal hilum. So we have seen different layers of kidney: outer cortex, middle, then middle medulla, and inner renal sinus. Okay, so I have also told you what is present in the cortex, part of your kidney. So here Bowman's capsule and collecting ducts, that is present in the cortex. Okay, and in the medulla it is a collection of, again, collection of your loop of Henle. Collection of loop of Henle is there in the middle layer, that is medulla. And in the inner layer or renal sinus, the innermost layer is known as the renal sinus. There is a minor calyx and major calyx, okay, which drains the blood, which are supplied with the smooth muscles. तो इसमें क्या रहेगा, स्मूथ मसल्स रहेगी white area में, and that smooth muscle generates a rhythmic contraction known as a peristalsis, okay, and similar to your GIT, but in the GIT solid content is more, here is only liquid, okay, water. So this is known as the renal peristalsis. Now we'll see the next point. Now structure of nephron. Okay, so nephron is nothing but the structural and functional unit of kidney. Structural and functional unit of kidney is nothing but the nephron. Okay, so this nephron is made up of different parts. So this nephron is made up of these different parts. I will explain. So first remember, this nephron is closed. It is a blunt. It is a blinded at one end. So one end of nephron is closed. End is known as a Bowman's capsule. Closed end or blunted end of this nephron is known as a Bowman's capsule, in which there is a capillary network. There is a network of blood vessel. There is a network of blood vessel in the this capsule. Okay, in this Bowman's capsule, it is known as a glomerulus. It is known as a glomerulus. Capillary network present in the Bowman's capsule known as a glomerulus. इसको क्या बोलेंगे, glomerulus बोलेंगे, and it is supplied with the blood vessels. So whatever blood vessel that will carry a blood to a glomerulus, that is known as a afferent arteriole. That is known as a afferent arteriole. So afferent arteriole will carry blood to glomerulus. You can see over here again. So this one is known as a Bowman's capsule. That is nothing but the blunt or closed end of your nephron. Okay. So in that there is a capillary network. Capillary network known as a glomerulus. Capillary network is known as a glomerulus. Okay. Now, so whatever artery that carries blood to a glomerulus, whatever small artery, whatever arteriole is there that carry a blood to a glomerulus, that is known as afferent arteriole, and whatever artery that will uh, carry blood away from the glomerulus, that is known as a efferent arteriole. Okay, so arteriole means it is a branch of artery, and which artery supplies the blood to kidney, that is known as the renal artery. Okay, it carries the oxygenated blood, renal artery, and renal vein is nothing but the, it drains the blood from kidney. Renal vein, it carries the deoxygenated blood. Okay, so renal artery is efferent arterioles or renal artery. Efferent arteriole is supplied to all over parts of the nephron, and they will divide into small capillaries, and capillary will divide into veins, and veins and arteries, they are joined together, and these veins will collect the blood known as the renal vein. Now what are the different parts of your nephron? So as I told you, the closed end of nephron is known as a Bowman's capsule, where you will have a glomerulus. Then second part is known as a, this second part is known as a, second part is known as a proximal convoluted tubule. This part is known as a proximal convoluted tubule, PCT, the proximal convoluted. Just below the Bowman's capsule, there is a folding of this tubule. Okay, tubule means nephron. Nephron क्या है? Just tube like structure है. That's why उसको tubule बोलते हैं. So just below the Bowman's capsule, there is a folding of tubules known as a proximal convoluted tubule, PCT. After that, this proximal convoluted tubule. After that, there is a loop. It is a loop. It is known as a loop of Henle. It is known as a loop of Henle. So in that you have descending loop of Henle जो नीचे जा रहा है, and you have one ascending loop of Henle. So remember, the descending loop of Henle is a thinner and ascending loop of Henle is a thicker. Okay? So that is a part of your anatomy physiology. You have to read. There are a lot of things. It cannot be simply completed or finished in the one lecture, but I'm trying to finish whatever is important. Okay, then again another folding of these tubules, is known as a distal convoluted tubule. Okay, Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, and after that there is a collecting duct. After that there is a collecting duct. So we can see here ascending loop of Henle, descending loop of Henle, everything is mentioned. So last part is known as a collecting tubule. So here a number of your collecting ducts used to attach to a collecting tubule. तो मान लीजिए कि एक नेफ्रॉन यहाँ से, दूसरा नेफ्रॉन यहाँ से आएगा, यहाँ से it is a collecting duct. It is a distal convoluted tubule for another nephron. Again, it is a distal convoluted tubule for another nephron. So different kind of distal convoluted tubule containing nephron, they bind, join together, and they drain their urine into the collecting duct. So these are the parts of your nephron. Nephron is nothing but the structural and functional unit of kidney. Urinary system है उसका जो kidney है उसका structural unit क्या है? Structural and functional unit nephron. So we have seen the different part. What is the glomerulus capillary network present in the Bowman's capsule? What is Bowman's capsule? It is a blunt or closed end of your nephron. Okay, nephron consists of a different part like proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, PCT. Then loop of Henle. Loop of Henle means this loop of Henle. Then distal convoluted tubule. This part is known as distal convoluted tubule. In the loop of Henle, you have two ascending limb and descending limb. So descending limb is first, which is a thinner. वो थोड़ा सा कम रहता है. Which is a thinner loop known as a descending loop of Henle. Another loop is known as a ascending loop of Henle, which is thicker. Now you can see over here again the afferent arteriole. So those arteriole which supply blood to a glomerulus. Afferent arteriole which supply blood to a glomerulus. It is relatively thicker. ये थोड़ा सा उसका ये diameter ज़्यादा होता है. So it is a thicker than efferent arteriole. So efferent arteriole means those which carry blood away from the glomerulus. So efferent arteriole is having thick and efferent arteriole is having thinner. So as it is a thick and it is thinner, thin ये thick होता है, थोड़ा जाड़ होता है, थोड़ा सा बड़ा होता है, और ये efferent arteriole थोड़ा छोटा होता है. अभी ये बड़ा है, ये छोटा है, इसके बीच में क्या होगा? Pressure generate होगा. So that's why due to difference in the diameter of afferent arteriole and efferent arteriole, there is generation of pressure. Okay, so that pressure helps the blood to be filtered. So that pressure, ये जो pressure difference है, ये जो blood supply करने वाला arteriole है glomerulus को, वो बड़ा होता है साइज में, और efferent arteriole थोड़ा सा साइज में कम होता है. तो उसके डिफरेंस की वजह से वो आप प्रेशर बनता है, और वो प्रेशर क्या करता है? that pressure helps to filter the blood. Okay, everything is filtered, everything except blood cells and plasma proteins. ब्लड सेल्स एंड प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन छोड़ के बाकी सब फिल्टर होगा. आपने जो भी खाया है, ग्लूकोज वगैरह सब फिल्टर होगा. सो वट एवर न्यूट्रिशन, ग्लूकोज, अमीनो एसिड एंड ऑल that will be filtered through glomerulus. Most of the 98% whatever is filtered 98% out of that solid content. So that is a reabsorbed from proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, then distal convoluted tubule. Okay? And only 2% of whatever is filtered by glomerulus, only 2% that forms a urine. So जो 100% मान लीजिए कि 100% ब्लड यहाँ पे आपकी किडनी को जा रहा है 100%. So out of 100% only 2% urine form बनता है. So only there is 2% formation of urine out of 100% of blood. Initially in the glomerulus everything is filtered, but in the different parts of your nephron like PCT, DCT, loop of Henle, 98% is reabsorbed. Okay, by reabsorbed. फिर से यहाँ पे देखो ब्लड वेसल का कैपिलरी का नेटवर्क है. So this capillary network is there. Okay, whatever capillary network you are able to see here. So that capillary network is responsible for the reabsorption of whatever is important for body. जैसे आपके ब्लड में क्या होता है कि सब न्यूट्रिशन होते हैं, शुगर होता है, important nutrient, minerals, sugar, whatever is there, and in the glomerulus everything is filtered, so you cannot survive. So that's why whatever is important for body, so that is reabsorbed from the tubules. Okay, from the tubules, and that is done by capillary network present around the tubules. Okay, there are different processes like they are selectively reabsorbed or they are actively absorbed, they are or actively secreted. What is important? That is being reabsorbed. जो important है वो फिर से बाद में लिया जाता है ब्लड में. ओके, सो दिस ब्लड कैपिलरीज यहाँ पे डिफ्यूज होगा. जैसे मान लीजिए कि आपने यहाँ पे ब्लड फिल्टर हो गया, ठीक है, ब्लड फिल्टर हो गया, तो इसमें ये फिल्टर्ड में क्या क्या है? ग्लूकोज है, अमीनो एसिड्स है, विटामिन है, ग्लूकोज, अमीनो एसिड, विटामिन. तो ये सब यूरिन बन गया. अभी तो यूरिन में जाएगा, तो ये अगर बॉडी के बाहर जाएगा ग्लूकोज, अमीनो एसिड, विटामिन, मिनरल्स, ठीक है, तो बॉडी सर्वाइव नहीं कर पाएगी. सो दैट्स व्हाई जैसे ही यहाँ पे आके बंद यूरिन यहाँ पे तक आता है पीसीटी में, पीसीटी, लूप ऑफ हेनले और डीसीटी, तो यहाँ पे देखो कैपिलरी का नेटवर्क है. सो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि जो इसेंशियल एलिमेंट्स है, जैसे अपने बॉडी को जो लग रहा है ग्लूकोज, अमीनो एसिड्स, वो तो अपने बॉडी को लगता है, तो वो एक्सक्रीट नहीं होना चाहिए, वो रिमूव नहीं होना चाहिए। तो यहाँ से ये जो नेटवर्क है, यहाँ से वो डिफ्यूज हो जाएगा इसमें। So that will be diffused into the vein, and that venous blood, okay, will be collected by renal vein. So whatever is important, that will be reabsorbed. So sodium, okay, sodium, along with sodium some water is also reabsorbed, some vitamins, then minerals, glucose and all that, that is absorbed, okay, reabsorbed, remember. Now we'll see the next point. So again you can see what are the different parts of your nephron. Nephron का part कितना होता है? Nephron consists of two parts. First part is nothing but the renal corpuscle or the capsule. You can say capsule or renal corpuscle, same term. So it is made up of two again. So first is a glomerulus and second one is a Bowman's capsule. So in the Bowman's capsule there is a capillary network known as a glomerulus. Okay, and these two together they are known as a renal corpuscle. Okay, corpuscle or capsule you can say. And another part of this nephron is known as a tubule or tubular portion. In this tubular portion you have again different thing, that is a proximal convoluted tubule, okay, then loop of Henle and distal convoluted tubule. Loop of Henle is also again divided into different part, like descending limb, then ascending limb, okay, ascending limb. So whatever the ascending limb and descending limb, they are joined at a curvature known as a hairpin bend. Okay, so they are joined by hairpin bend. So about that, again our descending limb is converted into thick descending segment, thin descending segment, and ascending limb also divided into again that thin descending and thick descending. So this is the part of your nephron. Now you can see over here, urinary system is the main excretory system. As I have told you, urinary system is nothing but the main excretory system. It consists of the following organs, like two kidneys, two ureters, one urinary bladder and one urethra. Now what is the function of kidney? So mainly the function of kidney is nothing but the water. Please mute yourself. So major function of kidney is nothing but the maintenance of hemostasis, maintenance of electrolyte balance, maintenance of water balance of your body. Okay, so whatever amount of volume is required in the body, so that will be maintained by kidney. So if there is excess, that will be filtered. Okay, so maintenance of hemostasis, maintenance of water and electrolyte. So amount of electrolyte which is essential for your body, like potassium, sodium, chloride, bicarbonate ions, up to the normal level it will be retained. Okay, and if it is in excess, that will be eliminated. So maintenance of hemostasis and water electrolyte balance, that is the main function. Then another function is there known as a removal of waste material. Second function क्या है? Removal of waste product. So waste product of metabolism. In the metabolism, you generate a different kind of waste product like carbon dioxide. Okay, carbon dioxide is generated. Mostly carbon dioxide is eliminated via lungs, but some part is also eliminated via kidney, not in the gaseous form, in the form of carbonates. Okay. So removal of waste material like urea. Urea is the metabolic waste of your amino acid metabolism and protein metabolism. Then uric acid. Uric acid is a waste product of which metabolism? Anyone knows? So urea is a metabolic waste of your protein metabolism. Uric acid is a metabolic waste of your nucleoside metabolism, nucleotides metabolism, and excess of ions like calcium, potassium, sodium, whatever ions are present, magnesium, chloride ions, phosphate ions. So those will be removed. Excess will be removed, and whatever is required that will be retained. So removal of waste product of metabolism like urea, uric acid, excess of iron, and drugs. So removal of drugs and their metabolites also. Then production of erythropoietin. Production of erythropoietin. So third function is production of erythropoietin. Now this is a hormone which stimulates the production of RBC. Erythropoietin is a hormone which is formed in the kidney and it increases the production of RBC, red blood cell. So that is a hormonal function of kidney. So production of erythropoietin. Okay. Then again, okay, which stimulate the formation of RBCs. Then production of renin. production of renin, which controls the blood pressure. We have seen that. So renin is again a hormone produced by kidney that will renin will convert inactive angiotensin gene, that is a glycopeptide present in the blood, into angiotensin 1, angiotensin 2. Okay. Then again production of aldosterone is also function of kidney. So adrenal gland production करता है aldosterone. Another function of kidney is nothing but to regulate the blood pressure. Remember. Okay, so removal of metabolic waste, maintenance of hemostatic electrolyte water balance, then the production of erythropoietin, then production of renin, and maintenance of blood pressure. So all these are the function of kidney. I have listed only important functions. There are another functions also. Okay, so I have listed only important. Now we'll see the individual organs. Now first is nothing but a pair of kidney. पहला क्या है pair of kidney. So two kidneys are there in the urinary system. Pair of kidney. So kidney extend from 12 thoracic vertebra to the third lumbar vertebra. So thoracic vertebra जो 12 नंबर का thoracic vertebra है वहां से लेके थर्ड नंबर का lumbar vertebra वहां तक आपको किडनी का स्ट्रक्चर मिलेगा. Remember, left kidney is slightly lower than the right kidney and above the kidney. Okay, superiorly on the kidney, on the superior surface of kidney, there is presence of adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is present on the kidney. Now kidney is made up of a three layer structure. Okay, so outer structure is known as a fibrous capsule. Middle structure is known as a medulla. Outer kidney is enclosed in the outer fibrous capsule. Then after that there is a cortex. After that there is a medulla, and after that there is a renal sinus. Okay, so there are the three layers of kidney. So in the medulla, in the medulla, conical shaped striation, or they are known as the renal pyramids. They are nothing but the collection of loop of Henleys. So pyramids में क्या होता है? Collection of loop of Henley. Then after that, in the renal sinus, calyces are present. Calyces are called as a pacemaker of kidney. Calyces are known as a pacemaker of kidney because they will start the peristalsis, renal peristalsis. Calyces में क्या होता है कि smooth muscle का layer होता है, and this smooth muscle will start rhythmic contraction and will cause renal peristalsis for removal of your urine. And it is not under control your voluntary, it is involuntary muscle, so they will generate the peristaltic movement. Now again, structural and functional unit of kidney is nothing but the nephron is the structural and functional unit of kidney, and it is a tube shaped structure which is closed at one end. एक जैसे ट्यूब है और एक जो ट्यूब है एक साइड पे क्लोज है and open into another side into collecting duct. So Bowman's capsule or the closed end जो है that is known as a Bowman's capsule. In that Bowman's capsule there is a glomerulus which is a capillary network. This Bowman's capsule is nothing but the cup shaped blind end of the nephron. After that there is another part known as a PCT, which is known as a proximal convoluted tubule, then loop of Henle, and then distal convoluted tubule, and lastly the collecting duct. These are the different parts of your kidney. Now after this, now as I have told you, as I have shown you the structure of nephron, so as I have told you, afferent arteriole is little bit having more diameter. Afferent arteriole is having wide diameter, and efferent arteriole, that means afferent arteriole means renal artery which will provide blood to glomerulus, and efferent arteriole means that will go away from the glomerulus. Okay, so there is a little bit difference in the diameter. So afferent arteriole is wide and efferent arteriole is a narrow. Efferent arteriole is narrow, afferent arteriole is wide, and due to this there is a difference in the pressure. So in the afferent arteriole there is a more pressure. In the efferent arteriole, sorry, at the afferent arteriole there is less pressure. In the efferent arteriole there is a more pressure. Due to this pressure difference, there is a filtration of blood through capillary into the Bowman's capsule. So what is filtered? So everything is filtered. So blood is filtered in the capillary network of glomerulus. Blood is filtered in the capillary network of glomerulus, except blood cells and plasma protein. Except blood cells and plasma proteins, everything is filtered due to difference in the pressure. Okay, due to difference in the pressure. So blood pressure, glomerulus pressure, and filtrate pressure. There are three different kind of pressure. Okay, so blood pressure normal, then glomerulus pressure and filtrate pressure. These three decides the rate of glomerular filtration. So glomerulus में filtration कितना होगा ब्लड का, कौन डिसाइड करेगा? जो ब्लड प्रेशर कितना है आपका, उसके बाद ग्लोमेरुलर प्रेशर कितना है और filtrate pressure कितना है. So what is, okay, what is that, we'll see. So due to difference in the diameter of your capillaries, due to difference in the diameter of your capillaries, capillary hydrostatic pressure, which is around 55 55 mm of Hg or 55 mercury millimeter. It is opposed by osmotic pressure of blood, which is around 30 mm of Hg, and filtrate pressure, which is around 15 mm of Hg. Okay, and therefore net pressure is nothing but the 50 minus 30 plus 15, that is nothing but the 10 mm of Hg. Okay, so net pressure होता है यहाँ पे 10 mm. You can see due to difference in the diameter of arteriole, afferent arteriole and efferent arteriole. So there is a generation of hydrostatic pressure known as a capillary hydrostatic pressure, which is around 55 mercury millimeter. Okay, that is 7.3 kilopascal. And this pressure is opposed by osmotic pressure of fluid, which is around 30 mercury millimeter or 4 kilopascal. And filtrate pressure, whatever is already filtered, so that also exerts some pressure, that is known as a filtrate pressure, which is around 50 mercury millimeter or 2 kilopascal. So net pressure is 50, 50 minus 30 plus 15, that is a 10 millimeter, 10 mm of Hg. So this pressure is known as a, this pressure is responsible for the filtration of blood from glomerulus. Now volume of filter which is formed in the both kidney. So volume of filtrate or volume of blood that is filtered in the kidney per minute in the glomerulus. Okay. So volume of filtrate formed in the both kidney per minute is a glomerular filtration rate, GFR, glomerular filtration rate, GFR, that is around 125 ml per minute. GFR normally कितना होता है 125 ml per minute, इसका भी याद रखो. GFR is around 125 ml per minute. So volume of filtrate formed by both kidney per minute, that is a glomerular filtration rate, GFR 125 ml per minute. That is a normal. Okay, that is a normal. 98% filtered blood by kidney is reabsorbed. Okay, so I have already told you, around if you take 100% blood which is being filtered by kidney, so out of that 98% blood which is filtered up through glomerulus, that is reabsorbed, and only 1.5, only 1 to 1.5% blood is excreted, or that is volume is excreted, that is as a urine. So अगर 100 ml ब्लड जो है टोटल वो अगर किडनी में जाता है तो उसका 98 ml ब्लड फिल्टर होता है किडनी से, ग्लोमेरुलस से, और जो फिल्टर सॉरी 100 ml फिल्टर अगर हुआ है तो उसमें अगर 98% 98 ml फिर से वापस ले जाता है बॉडी में थ्रू कैपिलरी नेटवर्क. So that is known as a reabsorption, and only 1 to 1.5%, or you can say 2%, out of the 100 ml, only 2% urine, 2 ml urine is formed. Now this filtration is auto-regulated. Filtration is auto-regulated by a nervous control. Filtration process is auto-regulated by nervous control. So reabsorption of nutrients and limited amount of nitrogenous waste is also there. Okay. So that's how there is a